This is a piece of red bud. My brother-in-law Rudy gave me this with a few other pieces. It's about 10.5 by 10.5 and about 6.25 inches tall. But there is an issue or two with that because it looks like it was split with an axe, and you can see that's right at the pith with a crack. So we're going to cut this back and cut the ends back, try to get past these little cracks I see. And when I come back, we'll have it mounted up on a worm screw and we'll see what we can make out of it. Okay, I cut it pretty round. I have it on a worm screw. I cut it a little smaller diameter than I planned because it was so much steeper angle on one side. The bark was going clear down to the bottom. So it'll be maybe an inch or so smaller than I planned. Got a 5/8 bowl gouge all sharpened up. I think we're doing about 700 RPM. So I'm going to start up here, try to preserve the bark. So as far as the shape goes, I just want to capture as much of this heartwood as I can. But it's got a beautiful contrast right here. We want to make sure we are able to keep that, which I'm pretty sure we will. Okay, I kind of sort of have an idea. Yeah, just sort of a little pot. Back down to the bottom and make that a bit smaller. I'll just round up the sides. Pretty big. I don't want to make this any shorter because we're going to lose a lot of this darker wood here. So I think we will probably use the recess. put a dovetail down here in the recess. So this really looks wide, but I want to keep it like that out here for the outside look. So I'm going to do something I see my buddy Phil do, and he just kind of steps it down like so. It makes the recess a little deeper than normal, so I think that looks better than that big wide flat spot. Alright, I'm going to finish blending what I just put on here up to the top. Turn it up. 850. I'm just cutting air right here now. I think that's going to do it. Probably scrape it and then sand it. Just put a new burr on the scraper. The only place it really needs it is up here towards the top where I'm turning a lot of air. The rest of it turned very nicely. Maybe a touch right here. Alright, it's time to do some sanding. Alright, all set to sand, and it is really smooth. I'll start with 120 grit. The lathe's running in reverse at 378 RPM. Alright, I'll get it sanded to 400, come back and put a coat of sanding sealer on it. I'm going to put the first coat of sanding sealer on it, and it'll be shellac based. It's just a very interesting wood. I may have mentioned it before, but we had a sweet gum tree that ended up being real messy. It was somewhat close to the house. We took it out and we actually had planted a Oklahoma redbud, and it's just got beautiful leaves come on it, so we're real happy with that. And then I was offered this. I didn't realize redbud got that big because I think ours is somewhat of a miniature tree. At least I hope it doesn't get too big. But it really sprouted up. So that is looking pretty nice. I think what I'll do is get one more coat of sealer on it, and then I'll put all the shellac on it at the same time once we get the inside hollowed out. So the next time I see you, we'll have it flipped around and we'll be ready to turn the inside. Alright, I just touched up my 1/2 inch bowl gouge. Recently I was asked a question about where do I set this very grind jig. The last notch right here on what I'll call the forward side, I put it right down the middle of that notch. There's no more notches past that, so it's the very last one there. So if you want to make sure you see the answer, if I manage to remember, is make sure you watch all my videos so you don't miss little things like this. And if you're not subscribed, then you'll get notified and you'll see these little tidbits that somebody might ask me, and then I'll answer that question. Alright, so obviously we're using half-inch bowl gouge. We're doing 820 RPM, and I'll use that probably at least till I get past the bark right here. Alright, slowly but surely. How'd that movie go? Please don't call me Shirley. Okay, so what my plans are is to hollow more of this out, and then I'll come back up that direction to try to get more off of this area. That way I'll have a little more tool support. Alright, before I go any deeper and try to clean this up here, I'm going to use the scraper and get the top area while I can. Alright, I've got the top edge pretty decent. I'll go ahead and hollow out some more using the 5/8, and then we'll scrape that area. 860 RPM. Okay, I think it's looking pretty good. I'll go ahead and go over it with the scraper, and then we'll do some sanding. Little nub in the center is getting kind of stubborn. I think I can sand that right off. Okay, just for reference, I was doing 620 RPM. I've delayed the running forward at 400 RPM. I'm going to start with 80 grit, and I'll sand it up to 400. I'll come back and we'll put some sealer on the inside. Alright, time to put some sealer on the inside. It's just going to be hard to see. I think I'll get this on, then I'll show you a first coat going on the outside so you can see it. But it's just too dark in there. I'll turn the light on once I get this on here. That is really pretty. There, maybe you can see it better than I'm seeing the angle on the screen, but it is very interesting. Alright, we are almost done. Got to get the finish on it, but that will look just like this. But I think I'll show you a coat of something going on the outside. I may have changed my mind what I want to use for that. Okay, time for some finish. And I did use the shellac-based sanding sealer, and I was ready to use shellac, but looking the grain over in the colors, I think using a polyacrylic, it's a water-based, will look really good here. It'll give it a little more depth and maybe a little more shine. And I think it'll really make the contrast of the two woods here, the heartwood and the sapwood, really show up. Kind of like that. So that's what we've decided to do, so we're going to stick with it. But I think it was a good choice, because look at that contrast. It looks pretty cool to me. Alright, this will not take long to dry, but boy, it's really warm outside, and I just feel like going out there and getting warmed up. And I'll just daub it on the bark here the same way. Just not really that thick that I can get away with doing this rather than a brush. Okay, I will go ahead and get at least 2 more coats of the polyacrylic, if not more. And when I come back, you'll get to see it because I don't have a tenon on there, I have a recess. So it should be all done. Well, here it is. And I think it is just a beautiful piece of wood. Red bud. Who would have known? Just got gorgeous grain, nice contrast. Got beautiful bark on it. Just look at that inside. It just lights up. It finished 6 1/4 inches in diameter. It's 4 inches tall. The walls are 3/8 of an inch, and it's 1/4 inch here at the recess. So I started with the idea of using a shellac finish on it. After putting 1 coat of shellac-based sanding sealer on it, I started looking it over, and I did not want to lose this strong contrast. To me, that is what's really cool about it. So I used the polyacrylic, which dries totally clear. Tell me what you think. Do you like it like this? I know it sure makes it light up in there. And a special thanks to Rudy for this beautiful piece of red bud. I know I had a lot of fun turning it, and I sure hope everybody enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, do me a favor. Click that like button and feel free to leave a comment. Both of those things will really help my channel grow. I do lots of different types of turnings, and you never know what might be next. So be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And a special thanks to all my current subscribers. You really mean a lot to me. So, till the next time, see you later.